It's Thursday morning, and it's time for Tech for Seniors Live, where technology gets its deserved deep dive. This isn't happening via Zoom, so we can't see who's joining the show. So please sign in to the chat box below as we gather around the screen, both far and wide, with curiosity as our ever-trusty guide. We'll navigate the digital seas, a knowledgeable crew, exploring all the tech tips, both old and new. No need for cameras, no need for dress. Just bring your questions and we'll address. From gadgets to apps and all the tech lore, we're here to help, to teach, and much more. So type away in the chat. Don't be shy. Our tech-savvy hosts are here to reply. It's Thursday morning. Let the tech talk flow at the Tech for Seniors Live, the best tech show.
Good morning, everyone. It's 2025. Hey, we made it another year. Welcome, everyone. This is Tech for Senior Live. As I mentioned, I'm Ron Brown. I'll be your host today. And we are broadcasting today, of course, on Facebook. We are broadcasting on YouTube and Instagram. No, we're not on Instagram. It didn't come through?
Nope.
No one's seeing. If anyone out there, it says we're broadcasting on Instagram.
There's no post yet.
No
Viewing's muted.
Yeah, I looked and I don't see us.
If anyone's out
posting from us
on Instagram, it says we're live. Anyway, I think we're watching on everyone's watching us on the other channels. Anyway, welcome, and it should be a great show. We missed last week. Hopefully everyone had a great Christmas and New Year's. For those of you who maybe are new listening to us, we're a group of seniors. We have a Monday show, which of course is we'll be coming into season 6. We'll be doing it for 6 years. It's a little bit different. It's a show that it's a Zoom meeting, and we have in-person sort of stuff, but we stream it out to YouTube as well. So if you haven't come and had on our Monday show, I guess I'll put in our banners here. We'll put our website up. This is our website, and you can find all the information about how to attend our Monday show, and it's free. We're not charging for our Monday show. It's still free.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, darn it. I keep telling you we should be charging for it. No, it's still free. Okay. So it's a good deal. So you might want to have a look at that. And then, of course, today is our Thursday show. Now, the thing about that's a bit different about this is we're streaming this off of StreamYard out to YouTube, Facebook, and maybe Instagram. We'll see. This is our new pilot project this year. Anyway, and so we're streaming that out, but we can't see you. We don't know who's out there. Now, could just be Huey and Ray and Bob and I talking to each other. But usually there's a few people out there listening to us. So if you put something in the chat, say hi. It's I'm here and here's the weather, or if you have a question for us, that's great. And put something in there, and we'll go through the questions and your comments as we go through, and at least it lets us know that someone's listening out there. The other thing, of course, is that we always encourage you to to send us articles that you want to post on our Facebook page. We post the articles we're going to go through. We post them daily, all through the week, and then this Thursday we go through them all and we'll talk about them. So as we find interesting articles, we post them, and now we've even gone back 2 weeks. We didn't have a show last week, so we'll go back 2 weeks, and there's all sorts of articles. So if you want to keep up to date on tech, just follow us along on our Facebook page, and you can just go to Facebook and just type in Tech for Senior and you'll find us. So, and also want to thank Jim Ham. He sent us a lot of articles this week. Mike Ungerman sends us a lot. And so keep the articles coming in, because we just post them. The only thing I would ask is that it is a news article. Like sending a copy of a YouTube video doesn't help. It's we want to put an article in our system, and then we can talk about the article and look at it. So that's great. So any technology articles you want, just fire them along, because sometimes you have a little bit different choices than we do. So that's great. All right, Huey.
Yes.
Have a happy. What did you do last night?
Last night or New Year's Eve night?
2 nights ago. Yeah. What did you do for New Year's Eve?
I stayed home. I was having problems with my leg, and I decided not to go anywhere, so I stayed home.
Staying home, eh? Okay. Bob, did you do anything exciting? Tell us what you did New Year's Eve.
At 7 o'clock, I went to bed like I do every other day. And I woke up the next morning realizing, hey, it's a new year. I made it.
All right. Ray, you must have stayed up and watched the chandelier fall in Times Square.
Well, I did, but for me, that was meant only staying up till 10 o'clock because it's 2 hours ahead. So I made sure I watched that happen. And I think we didn't watch that New Year's Eve movie. I had watched it earlier. I'm curious how many people may have watched that presentation I did last week. But no, it's been several years now where I no longer go out and want to be driving on New Year's Eve with all the others out there who may have had too much to drink. I'd rather be safe at home.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was saying to Gail the other night, I said, I remember we always went out New Year's Eve and we're partying and doing something and da. But I said, the last 20 years, we just sort of stick around the house and just do our thing. So I think you're right. Yeah, probably.
I understand this is the last year for that ball from Times Square. That's being changed. Yep.
Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. It's been going on for how many decades now?
They're changing that crystal ball.
Really?
All right, but it'll still be a ball that drops, just a new one?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's all right then.
Sarasota, it's a pineapple.
Up in Flagstaff, Arizona, it's a pine cone.
A pine cone. Hey, Huey, is there anyone listening to us? Have you got some comments?
There is. Let's take a look and see who.
Ed Weiss, 39 degrees, sunny in central New Jersey. Welcome, Ed. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to Mike Lehman from Moncton, New Brunswick, where it is +2 degrees with showers today. All our snow is gone. And that's very odd because usually you guys get a lot of snow. So times are warming up. James Martas, Cookeville, Tennessee, sunny and 24 degrees Fahrenheit. Happy New Year's to you, James. And Jim Tallman, only 66 degrees Fahrenheit in Venice, Florida, headed for 70 later today. So what are you freezing down there, Huey? What's going on?
The heat. Yeah, I got the heat on.
You guys got that. That'd be positively crazy for you guys, right?
It's 66. It's cold.
Oh wow, yeah, that's crazy. Richard Clarkson, 57, now going up to 79 degrees later on from Southern California. Mike Saunders, 5 p.m., 33 degrees Fahrenheit in Chesham, UK. Hi, Mike. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Gary Bodum from Victoria. Happy New Year, Gary. Victoria, Canada. Yes, just down the road from me. Welcome, and nice to see you again. Haven't talked to you for a little while. That's great that you're here today. That's super. Thanks for coming. JG. Good morning. This is Jim. Oh, Jim Glass from Arcadia, California. It's nice, brisk, 47 degrees. Looking forward to the rest of the show. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for coming. Happy New Year, Jim. Clark Walker. Happy New Year. It has to be better for me, a better year than me. Sorry. Let's try that again. Happy New Year. It has to be better for me than last year. Sorry, I got that right now. Happy New Year, Clark. Hopefully it'll be better, and welcome to the show. Dick Vogel in Orlando, they dropped a large orange on New Year's Eve. Well, there you go. And Happy New Year, Dick. Thanks for being there, and thanks everyone for coming, and all those people who have supported us for the past 5 years. That's pretty cool. So, however, you know what? People just don't come to listen to us yak away. We got to earn our money, right, Huey?
Yep.
We got to go and start seeing some articles and doing some work. So, wanted to talk today about a couple of articles, and I'm going to just come down here. No, don't do that. We are going to come down just a minute. Where are we here? Banners, no. All right, here we go. Where are we? Why did all my stuff disappeared?
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we are. Oh, okay. That's a bit weird. Okay, anyway, that's back. So we want to talk today about some articles. Now, I gave everyone a choice of what they wanted to talk about. And we wanted to talk about some things that happened last year. We wanted to, before we get into the news articles, Ray and I have chosen some things that happened last year, and we want to go over those and just tell you what they are. These are significant milestones that occurred last year. It could be services getting discontinued, new services, but we just wanted to mention three. Ray's got a couple. I've got three I want to talk about. Ray, what did you what was memorable for you last year?
Well, this is a focus of the article that you sent us was on Google products. So that's right, where my attention was. And to be honest with you, my background, I rely mostly either on Microsoft or Amazon for most of the devices that I have in the house that would come up. But the one Google product I used years ago and I loved when it first came out was Chromecast. Remember the Google Chromecast? And you plug it in, all of a sudden you could be streaming before streaming was as popular as it is today. So that I learned from this article that's completely gone now. They're no longer going to be supporting that. And then also at one time I owned a Fitbit watch, and I liked it very much. And then 2 months out of warranty, it stopped, and I got no satisfaction from Fitbit. And now, of course, that's going to be going as the Pixel watch is replacing the Fitbit, and that we all saw coming.
Yes, let's just go. That reminds me, right? Let me go through the article and let's just do a quick review of. There's 8 services that Google discontinued last year, and some of them you'd know, and some of them
I never heard of, to be honest.
Yeah. But many people out there have used them. So let's have a look at eight of the services that discontinued last year. Well, of course, Bard. Now, as Bob has pointed out, we were talking about this earlier. I hated the name Bard. And of course, Bard got the brand of Bard got retired in place of Gemini. So we now have Gemini. So if you're looking for Bard, Bard's gone, It's now Gemini. This was a social media thing. Keen, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, okay.
Has anyone? Have you guys heard of it?
Nope.
That's probably why they got rid of it, right?
Exactly why. Right?
They discontinued it in March of 2024. Google Podcasts left in April of 2024. There's no more Google Podcasts. So that
But they really combined that, I think, with Google Music, with YouTube Music.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. But so if you did use the podcast app, that is gone. Dropcam. I've never heard of Google's Dropcam, but apparently they had a Dropcam that was gone.
Look how many years that was around, though. That's amazing.
Yeah, 2009
to 20.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing.
Does anyone here? Have you even heard of it?
No,
I didn't.
Nope.
Well, there you go. Well, I guess that's a good reason.
One of the best kept secrets going.
That's why they got rid of it, right? And the other one is Nest Secure. Now, this was gone. This was Google's DIY home security offering, consisting of a connected keypad. I guess it did you ever, Bob, did you ever see that or hear about that?
No,
another great
I'm using somebody else's, so
yeah, it's a good kept secret. So that, of course, was gone. And the one that was, of course, we probably all were affected by was the VPN by Google One. We got a VPN, Google's VPN, if you subscribe to Google One. So that left us. And then, of course, Ray, you talked about Chromecast. Of course, that's gone now. And the last one is Jamboard. Now, this has been around for a while again, and this was their whiteboard. And I never used it, but again, those are the eight services that left last year.
It's pretty clear that if we didn't use them, they dropped them.
Yeah.
They were relying on our use.
I think you're right. Yeah, that's right. If they don't have Tech for Senior endorsement, they don't.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Now, there's three things that are very notable for me, and I'll just be brief on them. The first was, I think, a big one last year that occurred was called RCS, or Rich Communication Services, and this is RCS. What is RCS? Well, I did a whole video about it. So if you want to go over to our YouTube channel, Tech for Senior, you can see, just search RCS and you'll find my video. But in a nutshell, that is, RCS is a service that your phone service provides. It's a type of telecommunication service, and and you probably, if you have an Android phone, most of you have RCS. If you look at your texting and look down where you're from, you've got RCS. Well, what happened was Apple decided this year to participate in RCS, which meant you could send text messages now between Apple and Android, which was a big deal this year. Now it does occur, and you have to use Android 8. You have to use Apple 18 and higher. So you've got to be able to install that on your machine, on your iPhone. But now you'll be able to text to Android users, and you can text back and forth, which was a big milestone. I think that was one of the big announcements of this last year in technology. The other one was, of course, the AirPods Pro becoming a hearing aid. Do you remember that? That was we
talked about that.
Yeah. So that came out, and that changed a whole bunch of things, because there's a lot, of course, competition about that, and they have. And we're now seeing, hearing aid technology that you don't have to see an audiologist, and it's coming out. So I thought that was a really big technology advance. And of course, the other one was Gemini's AI voice, not just Gemini, but their voice. And Bob and I have demonstrated that on our show. The live portion. Yeah. Yep. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool feature. So those were three things that I really thought last year were noteworthy for me, and I thought were really great new technology advancements.
Ron, on the Chromecast, I still have the ability to do Chromecasting on my computer because I still have the device connected to my TV.
I think
And the casting is still available in the browser.
I don't think they're, but I don't think the service, I think it will still continue on for a while, but I don't think they make those. I think, Ray, I don't think they make them
The
anymore.
devices are no longer, because they've
Yeah.
graduated to a better device.
Yeah. I think
And
it's Google TV now. I think they've all moved to
They have a new interface for the right.
Huey, any more comments before we get on to the news articles?
Well, let's take a look and see. Let me find the last one here. That was Dick. So this one.
Richard Clarkson. First of all, Happy New Year, Richard. Stayed home New Year's Eve, woke up New Year's Day and watched the Rose Parade and then the Oregon versus Ohio State game. Yes, the Rose Parade. Edie Taylor Richards, again, happy New Year. In Prescott, Arizona, they dropped a huge cowboy boot at 10 and 12 p.m. There you go. Steve Parker. Hi, Ron. Saw your presentation on PATAC.
Pat Aces.
Yeah.
FedEx.
Watched it again. Saw your presentation on, I'm not sure which presentation it was. Watched it again for the first time. Well, that's great. I'm good. Thanks, Steve. I'm not sure which presentation it was, but and Mike Ungerman's here. Mike, hi. Happy New Year, Mike. I always loved Picasa and hated it when Google dropped it in favor of Google Photos. I still run Picasa as it's a standalone program. Yes, many people liked Picasa. Richard Clarkson, never use any of those 8. There you go. So you didn't miss them. Hey, Richard, you didn't miss them. Richard, only use VPN on Google One. Only use VPN on Google One. Wish they wouldn't have dropped it. Mike Hungerman, and the new Google Messages for browsers lets the send and receive text messages with any browser or operating system. Richard says many are satisfied with Google Messages and a lot won't switch to RCS. Well, hold on. Just let me say, RCS isn't something you switch to. It's provided by the phone service. And so if you are receiving text messages on your phone, then you're likely getting them by RCS. You don't have a choice. It's a service that your phone service is going to use. So that's an important point. For my family and friends, only 1 or 2 use RCS and the others don't. It may go by the wayside too if a lot don't use it. Well, RCS has actually been around for about 5 or 6 years. It's not a new service. The only new feature about that, and you've probably been using it, just go to your text messages and look down at the settings and you'll see it probably if you're T-Mobile or it's all RCS. And so, and the only new thing about it would be that Apple, the iPhones would be on that now. Okay. Is that our last one?
Yep.
Okay, great. Let's get on with Huey. I think what we'll do is we'll bring yours up. We'll follow along with yours and we can go along with that. And,
okay, unless Bob,
do
I need to refresh?
Not
Bob
for
or
me.
Ray?
Not for me.
Nope.
And we still don't show up on Instagram.
We don't.
Nope, sir.
Technical problems, you guys.
Not hearing anybody.
I think is this yours? This is Ray. This is yours.
Okay, what is the topic there?
Hang on, I lost my audio.
The year in
Okay, right. This I found was, if you want to just read one article that's going to tell you just the highlights of the AI news in 2024, this may be the one. The focus is on ChatGPT, Google's Gemini, Apple Intelligence.
Nope, I've lost
Meta.
my audio. I don't know if you
No,
can
we
hear
can hear
me,
you.
but I'm not hearing you. So I got to go out and come back in.
Okay.
And Meta. Now, surprising to me was Copilot was not mentioned in this article. Now, a glaring typo also in this. There's a sentence that says Google Gemini didn't exist when 2024 ended. Of course, that should have been 2023.
Exactly. All right. And as we come down, coaxial to
Remember
Ethernet.
coax cable?
That's a blast from the past.
That's me. I noticed when I purchased my home 20 years ago that it had coax cable running to the second floor bedroom for TV reception back in the olden days. And so, of course, with cable TV, I never had a need for these cables that continue to sit in the crawl space and the walls of the house unused. So the article brought to my attention that there's such a thing as a coaxial to Ethernet adapter, which allows the repurpose of these old TV cables. So while my Wi-Fi signal is sufficient for my purposes throughout the house, I thought I'd point out these adapters because I never knew that they existed before. I thought I wanted to point out the adapters. It might be a solution for some of our listeners for a better signal in the home.
That's certainly possible. Yeah, good one, Ray. And then let's just come down here. I think we've got.
And then this is yeah. Nope, that's
Have you got it?
Okay.
Huey, can you hear us?
I hear you now, and I'm on mine, but I'm not. Let's see. I've got to change.
These major companies want workers back in the office is the next article.
Right, that's my last one.
Yep.
There we go. So what continues to be newsworthy is what's happening in the corporate world with companies now requiring their staff back in person. Now, I've always been of the opinion that corporations that are paying rent for unused office space really want their employees back in the office. So this is known as RTO, Return to Office, and this article lists the various corporate mandates in this regard. Excuse me.
And let's go down then one more.
Think you're safe online? Think again. A new video I just put up, worth taking a look at, especially if you think you're safe online. It dives into some of the myths, why people think they're safe when they really are not.
Cool. All right.
Ron, this is you.
A video, Bob, they can play.
Ron, this is you.
Exactly. All right. This is what I wanted to talk about here. This is an article about the Consumer Electronics Show is coming up pretty quick. I think in probably a couple of weeks. And this is one of. Is it next week?
Yep.
And LG's 2025 AI-powered laptops set new standard for portable computing. And I wanted to just come down here and just mention this because this is an interesting. The standout feature of the 2025 LG Gram laptops is the integration of LG's hybrid AI, combining chat on device and chat cloud to create seamless computing. With on-device AI algorithms process data locally. Now, so that's all happened, but the key part that I wanted to discuss here was the 2025 LG Gram laptops are powered by Intel's next generation processors, the Intel Core Ultra H series and the Intel Core Ultra V series Lunar Lake. And at the top of the lineup, the LG Pro model offers the best in both performance and portability, and has the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4050 graphics card. Now, why am I mentioning this? Is because I said in our last Monday show, I believe we're coming to the end of Windows 10. Well, not the end of Windows 10, but big changes that'll be occurring in October of this year. There'll be a huge amount of talk this year about new computers. And I think this will be the year of the GPU and CPU changes. There's huge changes, particularly with Intel and
NVIDIA.
So, and we're starting to see, and why I'm mentioning this is the first of they're out of the mark. LG's out of the marks running with this, and it's the first. Last year we had the Copilot PCs, and we had AMD and that sort of system, but now we're going to be seeing the other leaders catching up, and we're going to see a whole flood of new machines coming out. So if you are interested in new machines, this is the first off the mark that we recorded that LG is putting out, and that'll be at the Consumer Electronics Store. And this, I think, just a minute, let me come back. This is again, this is about the new GeoForces RTX 5090. We're talking about the new cards. These are the new GPUs that are coming out, and this is just discussing some of the processors, CPUs and GPUs that are going into the laptops. So have a look at this article if you are interested. This is a whole new thing we'll be talking a lot about this year as these new very powerful CPUs and GPUs come out.
And if you remember, I was showing the different parts of the GPUs, and the fact that the ones that we have run on our computer, there's like 3 fans in them.
There is.
And they're in desktops. You can't get 3 fans in a laptop. So and there's a lot of heat that comes from them. So apparently they've got some much newer technology that they're going to be using with these, or there may be problems once they get them out in the public. So
yeah,
we'll have to see.
Well, I'd imagine they would have tested these. The other one that's very interesting, and I thought this was an article this morning, this was confirmed at CES 2025, and this is HDMI 2.2. Now you're going to say, okay, what's all this about? Like, what do we got to talk about another HDMI cord? Well, of course, you'll see later in today's show, we'll be talking about different monitors and some of the new 4K OLED monitors that are coming out. So there's a lot of data that is being moved between your display monitor and your graphics card. And traditionally, or not traditionally, but they have display ports, which is a connection from your computer to or from your screen to your computer, and a display port is traditionally been the fastest. But HDMI, of course, is a common way that we hook up monitors onto PCs. And of course, what they're trying to do is make HDMI connections faster and faster and faster. And 2.2 is the new standard that's just being released. And these are the new HDMI cords that are coming out. Now, why did I go on and on about this? All right. So if you are buying a new monitor and you don't have an HDMI cord, be careful about going in your big box of old cords that you've had around for 15 years and pulling out an old HDMI cord, because they're not all the same, right? There's different standards in these cords, and you have to be aware of that, because a lot of times these aren't going to work or not work to the benefit of your new monitor. So the new standard will be HDMI 2.2, and you'll see lots of these cords coming out now. And I think traditionally they probably get shipped. These new cords will get shipped with your monitor. But if you somehow get a monitor that needs an HDMI cord, be careful on that old box of HDMI cords that you have.
And if you're going to buy a new monitor or a new computer, make sure that is HDMI 2.2 ready.
Okay.
If you do happen to wind up with one of those old cables, your 240 hertz monitor may only be displaying at 60 hertz.
That's right. And you just spent all that money for nothing, right?
Correct. Yep.
And the other problem is these darn cables aren't easily marked, right? Maybe there's some markings. I can never figure it out. Ray, didn't you do a video about that?
Yep.
I thought you did a video about that a long time ago.
I did, but again, that was so long ago. That may be completely wrong now, because these standards are changing. What I've always wanted to see is the companies mark on the cable what version it is. So you just lift up the cable, you look at it, and I'm still surprised how many companies do not do that.
That's right. Yeah. So be careful of that. This was so this was the follow-up article on this. Asus, Samsung, and MSI announced the world's first 27-inch 4K OLED 240 hertz monitors. Bob, you're just talking about that. Now they did have 32 inches before, but this is the first 27, and this is the three companies are all announcing this at CES, and these will be smaller monitors. I guess if you're a gamer and you've just bought a new machine and you're really, you don't want a 34-inch, you want a smaller 27, this will now be available for you. So
big deal,
a 24,
the big deal here is that 240 hertz.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the big deal on this. My TV, which I paid quite a bit of extra money for, actually is 240 hertz. Because most of them come through as 120.
So this would be appropriate for gamers.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be making things crystal clear.
Absolutely. This was an article. I think this was a Kim Commando article this morning. I thought it was a good one. Clean out your Gmail account or clean out your email account. How many of us in our Gmail have, it filtered into promotions and different sections in our Gmail, and you never look at those. And the next thing you know, in promotions, you've got a year full of advertising, and you're paying for that. You're storing all that data. Go in and start cleaning out your Gmail for all those Gmails that you keep loading up on your machine that you never look at. So I thought I just mentioned that because I thought that was a good idea. Huey.
Nope, this is you.
Was this me?
Yep.
It says
Apple TV
by Ron Brown.
Oh, Apple TV. Oh, I guess I can't see that. Apple TV. Yeah. Does anyone, if you have an Apple ID, and just an Apple ID, and you have an Apple device, then Apple TV is free. All their streaming services free this week, including this weekend. So if you want to watch any movies or anything like that, and you have a streaming to Apple TV, is all free for this weekend. A gift, I guess it's a Happy New Year's gift from Apple, right?
You too.
Yeah, this was this was an interesting article. Just a minute. Do I have that article? I guess I can't see it. The amount of money that the big tech companies spent on data centers, and it's amazing if you look at it on the tech spent, how much tech spent. If you roll it down, it says that what was it, $270 billion? I mean, holy moly. It was there's a lot of money that was spent on data centers between the big Microsoft, Google, and the big group, and like, it's a lot of money that was spent last year.
Yeah, but more was spent on training AI models than on running them.
But all those data centers and power, and as Ray always points out, all the nuclear power generators that are being commissioned last year to get going again to power this. This was an interesting article. So if you are interested, that's the
and for places like Arizona, the amount of water that is needed.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's for sure.
And this is me. Yep. 5 cord cutting predictions for 2025, a year of change for cord cutting. And cord cutting surpasses 75%. Free ad-supported television, or FAST, continues to see explosive growth. Streaming bundles become the norm. The rise of niche streaming services, and multiple small streaming services will shut down. There's going to be a lot of them disappearing, or a lot of them combining. let's see, that's the same one. AOMI is giving away a bunch of software until January 10th. So you might want to take a look. They have backup software. They have several different software packages, and you can download them and install them, and it won't cost you anything. And which they normally do. They're not expensive, but they're going to be free till January 10th. And then there are 5 reasons you should or shouldn't always leave your Windows laptop on. So they give 5 reasons to leave it on and 5 reasons not to.
Big reason is if you don't have it plugged in, don't leave it on.
Yeah. Ron, this one's you.
Oh, this was a hoot. So how many of you guys hate those CAPTCHA things we have to do to prove that it's a real person? You know, you either have those squares that you have to figure out which ones you see the cars in, and, you know, or you have to answer a skill testing question. I always get them wrong. So, you know, I can never get in. They never, you know, I'm always frustrated with those. Well, finally, people are playing a new Doom themed CAPTCHA, Rocket News says. So, you have to kill 3 people in Doom before they'll let you in. And this is a new replacement for CAPTCHA. And I thought, hey, there you go. I can go for this.
So if you aren't a gamer, they'll convert you.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, this was an interesting one. This was Stat Counter said, Microsoft Edge just isn't doing very good. It's gone down to 13.21%, and Chrome is even getting more popular. So Edge just isn't making it. So Chrome seems to be the winner. Although we'll see with the Department of Justice. See, it may not be part of Google for long, but we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, I use Chrome as my default browser.
I use Edge all the time.
Well, I put this in just because it's an achievement for Tech for Senior. We just passed 11,000 subscribers. Thank you for all of you who have subscribed to Tech for Senior. And while we're talking about it today, if you haven't and you're on YouTube, please just hit that subscribe, like, and subscribe. This is part of the article that we talked about earlier. This is Tom's guide, the 25 best and worst tech moments of 2024. If you want to go through them, we've talked about some of them today, but it's sort of cool. You'll some of the stuff you would never heard of, some of the stuff you have. It's sort of interesting. And this is the article, Everything Google Killed in 2024. We talked about that. Now, I did actually a video about this, and so anyway, this is a new search overview animation hints at Gemini 2.0. I think I have this, and this is on a Google search. When you do a Google search, it comes up with an overview of much as an AI overview in the search in the Google search. And I'm not sure, Bob, if everyone has this, or just, do you have that? Or do you have Gemini 2?
The first thing that comes up is the overview, and then comes the actual search results. Yep.
Right. So that's that was interesting. Apple, 4 apps I used to get Apple Intelligence feature.
Oh, this is a ChatGPT's most underrated feature. And this is you, Ron.
I don't remember that one. Sorry, guys.
Well,
click the article and see what it is. I don't remember what its underrated feature.
Maybe GPTs is something I talked about earlier.
What was that, Bob?
Sometime. Custom GPTs.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was. Custom GPTs. Right.
Right.
That's right. So we talked a lot about that. I think we're going to talk a lot more about that this year, Bob. What do you think?
Yeah, well, because that's the upcoming thing. They're specialized
Yeah, Monday I'm going to be talking about AI agents.
Right.
Right. Right.
And this is an agent.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
a different name for it, but it's still an agent.
Still
Yep.
an agent. Yep. Right. And I'm just put this up as a reference article. 4 apps I use to get Apple Intelligence features on my old iPhone. And one of the examples they use is using Google Photos on an old iPhone, which can give you some of the AI editing features in Google Photos. So you can sort of do a work around that if you can't get the Apple AI features to do photo editing. So it's a little bit of a workaround there. You can look at the article. I'm not going to go through it, but it's interesting. If you have an older iPhone, you probably want to have a look at it. Is this mine?
Yep.
Here's a breakdown of how to find photo editing workarounds.
Quiet phone. Quiet phone.
Explore third-party photo editing apps.
We'll put that away. And let's see, what does it say? 5 reasons why Gemini Live is the best best AI voice mode. Bob and I have talked about this for a while, and we have a lot of fun using the voice mode with AI. Bob, you use it every day?
Quite often, yes, because it's the easiest way. I don't have to type. I can just talk, and it talks back at me. But you do get the written response.
Yes, I noticed that. That's great.
Okay, so just because it's talking to you doesn't mean that, oh my God, how do I get this information now that it gave me? It is there in writing as well.
If you use this, it's a great way to show people who have no idea what AI is about and how they might use it. You demonstrate with this, and it really convinces them that, oh, maybe I ought to look at it.
Especially nice if somebody doesn't speak your language and you don't speak theirs. You can have regular conversations, real easy.
Bob, this is you.
This is just a website. If you don't use a service, this covers over 1,000 different carriers, actually 1,206 carriers. All you need is a tracking number and it will track your package for you. No signups, no nothing, just as long as you have the tracking number.
Do they do the tracking numbers for Amazon?
I don't know, 1,206 carriers, FedEx, UPS, DHL, USPS, and more.
Yeah, they probably don't. If it's being shipped through Amazon, it's probably not on there, but here's another one, Bob.
Instant video chat. No sign in, no account, no app. Works for up to 12 people and has no time restrictions. And it even lets everybody share their screen.
Wow.
Yep. This is strictly an online service, but it doesn't retain anything. So if you go there and you can start an immediate chat, or you can schedule it for later so you can send the information or the link to the other people and then have a get together for up to 12 people.
But you can't record it.
There's other ways. You can always record things.
Yeah.
Just do a screen capture. Okay. I don't know. I didn't check out to see whether or not it has the ability within the app to do recording, but recording part is the least.
Bob, is there a limitation on time?
No time limit. There is a limit on the number of people. It can only be 12 people at
or
one
less
time. But all people at the same time could be sharing their screen.
Cool. And it's called YEP, Y-E-P?
Y-E-P. Yep.
HeyYep.com.
All right. Interesting one. Huey, before we get into the last 15 minutes here, should we have a look and see if there's any more comments?
Yeah, let me see where the last one was here. I think we're here.
Many are so Richard Clarkson. Many are satisfied with Google Message a lot. Won't switch to RCS.
No, that we did cover
that.
that. We did that one. Okay.
I still don't have a big. Richard says I still don't have a big need for AI, but I do use Gemini. Works good for my use case. Yes. Murray Strom. Happy New Year, Murray. Murray's of course from Victoria, BC, just a bit south of Ron. Gary Bolton, new Windows Paint app won't run on my Windows 10 box. Interesting. Mike Ungerman says in 2024 was the year of the mini computer, but only Apple was a mainstream manufacturer with one. I predict that most major manufacturers will have minis too, and most with powerful GPUs. Well, interesting, Mike, to see. I guess what I don't understand, Huey, is how they're going to deal with the heat issue. I mean, if you look at these big, GPUs that are coming out from NVIDIA and Intel, like they're big boards and they've got three fans on them. Like, how the heck are you going to stick that in a mini computer?
Yeah, and that may be the reason I was having problems with mine. And I used I've had two Intel mini computers. They call them the NUC, and they gave that up, and I think it's one of the other major companies. I think it's either Lenovo or it might be one of the other ones, Asus. I think it's Asus or Acer that took it over. And so the first one was just recently announced from that company, the NUC.
I have a GeekCom. That's a mini. It has no heat issues. I don't hear any fans. I don't know how they do it. All I can tell you, it works like a charm.
Geeks on Tour, Chris and Jim are here. Hello from sunny South Florida. Yes, indeed. See, they're not complaining about being cool, Huey. So Richard Clarkson says, interested in PCs, laptops comes out with, I have Samsung phone, tablet, want to keep the Samsung line to be able to connect them all together. Wendy C.
That's Wendy, a new person.
That's a new person.
Welcome, Wendy. We're going to give you a big round of applause for coming in and joining us today. That's nice to see you. Happy New Year. Hi.
From Sault Ste.
Marie, Ontario, pronounced Sault Ste. Marie, yes. This year we had a hockey puck drop countdown to bring in the new year. Today it is -3 degrees or 27 degrees Fahrenheit with snow squalls. Welcome, Wendy. Hope to see you. Hey, every Thursday we're here, plus or minus Instagram. That's our new streaming service, but we're always on Facebook and YouTube. And come and see us on our Monday show. Welcome, and hope to see you here next week. Richard says interested in. We did that one.
Oh, that was after, but that's okay.
So Mike says, I use Brave as my primary browser. It's Chrome-based, but is much more private and has anti-fingerprinting features. Anti-fingerprinting? James Martis, Happy New Year. Aftership has Amazon logistic tracking according to Aftership website.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the update.
Yep, thank you. And that catches us up.
All right. Did we
Next one is Upscale. Enhance your images for free. It's a website. Great little place to do enhancements of especially old photos where you have pixel problems. This can make it nice and clear. You can also enhance, or I'm sorry, not enhance, but you can also make pictures bigger without winding up with pixelation.
Yeah, and that was always an issue. If you had a small picture, you couldn't make it bigger because it would pixelate. Right. And now AI has made it so a lot of programs just do that or is included with them. Photoshop Elements has the ability.
Yeah, but this makes it very simple. You don't need any programs. Just go to the website and
then
do
it's
it all
free.
from there.
Yep.
Bob, if you used, have you tried like Chat GPT and uploaded a photo and say can you increase in size? Would AI do that like Chat GPT?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Now you gotta be careful. I have found out that if I use Chat GPT 4.0, it works like a charm. If I use the next one, which is the 01, it gives me code. It doesn't give me a picture. So if I'm working in 01 to be more accurate and have better results as far as the text part goes, don't count on it for pictures. Swap back over to 4.0 and you can create the images. So you have to also know how to use the darn stuff.
All right. Good. Thanks, Bob.
Ron, this is you.
Right. How to add your passport or other IDs to Google Wallet. This is extremely popular. This is really a lot of people doing this now. So I thought I'm not going to go through it. We've talked about this before. This is a how-to sort of article. And if you want to do that, just look at that article. And this is mine. Yeah, this was interesting. China to build 10,000 5G powered factories by 2027. And I just, interesting enough, Ray, you talked about 6G last week. And it's interesting. They're also just announced 5G, not 5G plus. The new standards just came out for 5G. I can't remember a 5G expert, or there's another level of 5G, which will be that T-Mobile and various phone services and they're going to be instituting this as well. So we're going to be seeing faster and faster and faster 5G, which is
that number is amazing. 10,000 separate powered plants. Yep. Wow.
Yep. Powered by 5G. Yep. Digital wallets. Yep, just another one on digital wallets. We talked about this a lot, and this is we've talked about that before. So just to remind everyone, 2024 was when we had the new AI computers coming out, or so they were, and that's the Windows Copilot. And they used a CPU called Snapdragon, and it ran not on the old Intel software, Intel architecture, but ran on ARM. Sorry, just a minute. I'm having some voice. And they ran on ARM. So there's a converter. There's a lot of the older programs needed conversion to do this, and it ran pretty good. Things were last year. I would say that yes, Windows on ARM, which was the Snapdragon Windows Copilot stuff that you saw in the stores, and a lot of you bought Windows 11 computers with that architecture on them. 2025, which is this year, will be a new technology. It will be Intel, it'll be NVIDIA, and you're going to see different chips coming out on these machines. A lot will occur in the next couple of weeks. We'll be reporting on because of CES coming out, and of course the LG machine that we talked about earlier.
But if it's Intel, it won't need conversion or the emulation anymore. So that should automatically speed things up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, like Bob, it'll be very interesting at the end of the year to see how it's comparing. All these new machines are comparing to the Copilot PC ones with the ARM, right? I don't know how it's all going to work out, but lots of changes occurring. Bob, did you see this? Has been a lot of news articles about 16 Chrome extension hacks exposing over 600,000 users to data theft. There was lots of play on this week.
Well, if you downloaded the app from a certain place where the hacking existed, then your app is hacked. Okay? If you downloaded it from the original place, then you weren't affected.
Okay. The next one is if any of you like the old classic Galaxy watch where the bevel turned and you like that, I think that the Galaxy Watch 8, they're talking about bringing back the classic model
My
back.
Galaxy 2 is going to be in fashion again.
Yes, exactly, Bob.
I have the Galaxy 3.
I still have it. It's still on the charger. It still works. I've forgotten how to use it.
All right. Now this was an interesting article. We could spend a lot of time on this, but I won't. But passkeys are supposed to be secure and simple, but here's how they fail. Basically, there's nothing wrong with passkeys, but the article, I think I agree with the article. The problem is implementation, and it's just not simple. And some sites are simple, but most aren't. In other words, it's just doesn't seem to work on multiple machines and make things easy for you. And so they've got a lot of administrative stuff to sort out on passkeys, but a good start in 2024, but let's see where they go in 2025. Bob, this is yours.
Another video from Bob.
Yeah,
he's muted. Bob is muted.
He's run out of voice.
No, I had a cough and I muted myself and I didn't unmute.
Okay.
10 practical ways to kickstart 2025 and make it your best year yet. Watch the video.
Okay. Coming down, goodbye to 2024 from Bob. Just a minute. This was an interesting article. I'm just going to go through these quickly because we only got 2 minutes. Yikes, breaking down the 10 biggest tech fails of 2024. I'm not going to go through these.
This one's from me. Yikes, breaking down the 10 biggest tech fails of 2024. So there were some tech things that didn't make it and didn't do well. And this was from Sam Altman.
Okay. Well, we have only one. Let's I think what we're going to do is let me just take this off. We'll remove this because we only have 1 minute left. Are there any final comments, Huey?
Let's see, one, I think.
Steve Powell, Kirkland, Washington, 41 degrees and overcast.
That's it.
And snowing up Mount Washington because the kids just went skiing today. So it's snowing up there. Anyway, listen, I want to thank everyone for being here today. I want to thank you for spending your hour with us. We do appreciate that your time is valuable, but hopefully we've had a great session and you'll be back next week, next Thursday. And maybe we'll get the Instagram. If anyone did see it on Instagram, Let me know because I don't think it says we're live, but I don't know why we're not live.
Yeah, anyway, I've been checking and I may not know how to set it up. Or
so
we may not have it set up right.
It says we're live, but anyway, I don't know. Anyway, we'll see how it works out, but we for sure are broadcasting out to some people because we did have people watching the show, right? So thank you, Huey, for coming. Hopefully we'll see you Monday, and Huey's running the show on Monday. That'll be great. And Ray, hopefully you get better. Your voice is pretty good. I think your voice was better than mine today. And Bob, as usual, thanks for coming, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.